Welcome to Sassy, Soulful, and Sensitive, a podcast for us introverts, empaths, and highly sensitive people. I'm your host, Cam Nichols, and together we're going to explore the strengths and struggles that come along with our sensitivity and learn how to trust our intuition and trust our voice. Let's dive in. What's up, Buttercups? Hope you are having a fantastic summer. I don't know about you and where you're at, but it has been like heat wave triple digits here in Salt Lake City over the last several weeks, and it is hot, which leads into what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about overwhelm. You're like, how does that relate to a heat wave? Let me tell you. So over the last 2 months, basically most of summer, there has been thing after thing after thing after thing that has been happening in life, which part of that is to be expected. But within a matter of 2 weeks, we needed to have a major car repair. We needed to replace our roof, and we needed to replace 2 HVAC systems, both the AC and the furnace side of things. There were some health issues going on. My husband was really overworked and just working in everything that they were doing, and was applying for a new position. Roommates applying for a new job. My adorable little dog started to have seizures. So all of these things like just happened back to back, and it was really overwhelming. So that's kind of what I want to talk today, is how to handle overwhelm. Because as I was going through all of these things, which I should also mention, each one of these things, like I can organize like a mofo, I can do all of that stuff. But something that was so, like looking back on it is so fascinating. There were issues with every single one of them. Like normally you can like work something out and it can be really smooth. And like I expect mistakes to happen from time to time, and totally can empathize with that, and like it's not a problem. But every single thing, there was miscommunication with the HVAC people in trying to get that scheduled. There was issues with the roof people in getting that scheduled and then getting the work done and choices. And then there was issues with the insurance companies and the pharmacies. It was just one thing after another. And all of this was happening during a time where I had been doing some inner child work, and what really came up there were some things that came up that I just hadn't dealt with in such a long time. It was like this huge wave of depression and anxiety that I've not felt in years, and it just seemed to get worse and worse and worse, and just kept building and building and building. And now, as we have gotten through so many of these different things, I look back and I'm like, oh, this was the moment for me that I could have done something different. This was the moment I could have done something different. Because when things were at the height of my nervous system, the height of the depression, the anxiety, the overwhelm, I was talking to my husband, and we realized, oh, so much of this is overwhelming because we haven't been taking care of ourselves. I had fallen out of some of my daily self-care routines that help regulate my nervous system on the daily and that allow me to show up in the way that I want, in more of the emotions that I want. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to feel anxious all the time. I don't want to be depressed all the time. I don't want to feel overwhelmed all the time. I don't think any human does. If you are feeling overwhelmed, take a beat and ask yourself, have you gotten out of the habit of the small things that help you function in the way that it's most helpful to you? Because that is super, super important. Because if you don't have the awareness, you can't make any changes. If you don't have the awareness, you can't do anything different. And then you're stuck spinning in that cycle of overwhelm and overthinking that creates the anxiety. So again, it's super important to know what that self-care routine is for you that helps you regulate your nervous system. If this is something that you need help with and figuring out, please reach out to me. This is something that I am working on developing with my clients because I have recognized the significance and the magnitude and the importance of having this. Because if your nervous system is in a heightened state, your brain is not able to function in the way that you want. It's in survival mode. And what's been really interesting is as I've worked on the overwhelm, I've brought these daily practices back, and I've gotten all of these different things taken care of. It has been such a beautiful wake-up call. First of all, of the routine, right? Of having that self-care routine, and what exactly does that look like for me? But also looking at my clients and really what I want to do in my business. Because over the last 2 weeks specifically, I have been in major creation mode. Like, I've been creating so much content, and I'm working on a brand new 12-week program to help sensitive people like fully go through this transformation and learning how to regulate your nervous system, and then learning how to become aware and conscious of what's happening, and then make intentional changes. The last couple of weeks have brought so much clarity. Once I took care of the overwhelm, there was so much clarity as to what I want to do with my business and how I want to help people, and what are all the things that I've done and everything that I have learned that can truly help people, because it's helped me so much. Because if I didn't have the tools that I had, if I didn't have the knowledge that I had, I'm going to be honest with where I was, like mentally in this mental health space, things could have gotten really bad in the past if I didn't have these knowledge and these tools. And that's with working with like licensed mental health professionals, right? I didn't have coaching back then. I didn't have all the knowledge. I didn't have all the tools. And so I don't think I would have handled the last couple months. I don't think I would have been able to in the past. And as I say that, like I can feel the emotions coming up, because it's made me realize, one, I have just so much sadness and empathy for that past version of myself. And I have so much pride and confidence in how far I've come. And just having that, knowing that, okay, after the storm of overwhelm comes clarity, comes creation. And it made me start to realize, oh, this is just cyclical. This is just a cycle that I go through to varying degrees of intensity. But look what happens each time. There is this clarity. There is this creation mode. And y'all, I am so excited for what is coming. Like, there is so much work for me to do. That alone is overwhelming. So I'm still working on managing overwhelm, just in a completely different headspace. Because, like I said, I'm working on this like super comprehensive course. I am creating an oracle card deck. Oh my gosh. And you guys, it is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. I cannot wait to share it with you. I can't wait to share all of this with you. But even in creation mode, even when the mental health is in a really good spot, overwhelm still happens. And part of this, I think, is important to recognize that like part of this is actually our gift. Yes, it can result in like overthinking, overanalyzing, and it can kind of stop us in our tracks. But one of our gifts is deep thinking and deep processing. So again, we're going to be thinking about things longer. We're going to be thinking about things more intensely. We're so good at seeing the future, all the potential futures and what that looks like. And then we come back to the present and we're like, holy shit, that's a lot of steps to get there. Where do we start? How do we want to organize things in order to create the potential future that we want? Right? So there's a lot of overwhelm in that. And again, what's been so beneficial is the tools in my toolbox that I've cultivated over the years that I'm going to be bringing to you inside this program when it's ready. And getting coaching every single week from my personal coaches, and being able to talk through all of this this overwhelm, all of the anxiousness, all of the excitement. Because really, when you think about it, there's so much similarity to emotions. Let's take anxiety and excitement, for example. They're very, very similar in vibrations that are happening in your body. And so being able to kind of tap into that and being like, oh, I'm recognizing anxiety. This is a situation where I want excitement. All right, let's flip the switch. Because when emotions like that are so similar, you can learn to flip the switch. And that is what is so beautiful about this work. So I want to let you know that if you are in overwhelm, it's okay. You will be okay. Just slow down. Start breathing deep breaths. One of the techniques that I use all the time that is one of the simplest yet super effective techniques is you breathe in and then you breathe out twice as long. And what that does, I won't go into all the science of it, but essentially it has an effect on your vagus nerve and it helps bring you back down into the range of your nervous system to where you can better function. This is why breathing is so important. So again, just breathing in however long and then just breathing out twice as long as what you did breathing in is such a helpful tool. It's so funny as I've been working on this course and creating it, I'm looking at all of these like disruption techniques to help with overwhelm and anxiety and just like kind of formalizing my toolbox. And I'm like, holy crap, I have so many different techniques to use at different times. And it because I'm in it so much, I kind of forget how many tools I actually have. And so it's been so much fun to kind of go through them. And I'm just so excited to bring them to you. But again, if you're in overwhelm, seriously, take a beat. Figure out what your self-care looks like for you on the daily. What are the things that you need to do daily to help keep your mind at a slowed down pace? Because when you're in overwhelm and things are like so heightened, you can't think straight. Again, because you're in survival mode. You can't use your prefrontal cortex in the way that you want. Because here's the thing, which I know you all can relate to this. Even when you're in overwhelm or you're in like super depression or anxiety or any other intense emotion, life is still happening. And that can add to the overwhelm. So learning how to slow down is imperative because you need to get out of survival mode into conscious awareness using your prefrontal cortex where you have all the logic and decision-making abilities. Get into that space so you can actually do the things that you want. And again, if this is an area that you need help, please reach out because this is something that I can help you with. And if you're interested in the courses that are going to be coming up, in the release of the Oracle card deck when it's ready, all of these things that I'm creating, make sure that you are on my email list. Go to coachwithcam.com and sign up for your free meditation that's going to help with an intense emotion. Sign up and take the quiz to figure out what your HSP elemental energy type is. That's how you get on my email list. So get on that and you will be one of the first people to know when this stuff is ready to go. And it is going to be freaking amazing. I'm so excited. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you today. As always, remember, shining bright gives others permission to shine as well. Take care. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you want to learn how to find your voice and lean in more to the powerful force of nature that you know exists within you, head on over to coachwithcam.com and take the What Element Are You quiz. You'll discover how to align with your secret strength that you perceive as a weakness so you can break the cycle of doubt and step into your badassery. And if you enjoyed the show, make sure to follow, rate, and review it on your favorite podcast platform and share it with a friend or family member who you want to connect with on a deeper level. You'll be helping other sensitive folks like yourself and like me find and join our amazing community. So let's connect and support each other on this incredible journey.